This happened to me in 2018, on the 4th of July. At the time, I was living in a small town called Bartonville, Illinois. If you've never heard of it, you're not alone. It's the kind of place where everybody knows everybody else's business, but no one talks about the things they probably should. And when I say that, I'm mainly talking about the place I'm about to tell you about. There's a stretch of woods just south of the old coal plant. Locals call it Brewer's Hollow. It's got all the classic creepy town ingredients. Urban legends, abandoned shacks, satanic graffiti, you name it. Every town has one of those spots, right? The kind where teenagers go to be brave and always end up regretting it. I hadn't been out there since high school, but my cousin Derek, he was all about that kind of thing. He came to town every summer, and this time, he brought a friend of his from college named Sam. Neither of them were from around here, so of course, when the 4th rolled around, they started hyping up this plan to have a little bonfire off the grid. I should have known where this was going the moment Derek said he had a perfect spot, Brewer's Hollow. I told them straight up that the place had bad energy. People get lost out there. There were stories, some dumb, some way less dumb, about strange sightings, lights moving through the woods at night, even people hearing voices. But none of that fazed them. Derek just laughed and said I'd gotten soft living in the suburbs. So, like an idiot, I agreed to go. We packed up 2 coolers, a Bluetooth speaker, and a few fireworks that were definitely not legal in Illinois. The plan was to go in around 8 p.m., hike maybe 15 minutes to a clearing Derek swore he remembered, set up the fire, and light the fireworks as the sun went down. What could go wrong, right? The first weird thing happened before we even got out of the car. We pulled off this narrow gravel path that led into the woods and parked next to a rusted-out fence. There was this massive black dog just standing there behind the trees, staring at us. Not barking, not moving, just standing. Sam was the first one to notice it, and he kind of nervously joked, "That thing looks like it wants to eat our souls or something." I laughed it off, but I'll be honest, it gave me the creeps. Something about its eyes felt off. We started hiking in, and as the sun dipped lower, the air in those woods changed. It wasn't just getting dark, it was getting dead quiet. The kind of silence that makes you feel like something's listening. I kept glancing behind us because I had that uncomfortable sense that we weren't alone. But I didn't say anything. I didn't want to be that guy. Eventually, we found the clearing. It was just like Derek remembered. A wide circle of flattened grass surrounded by dense trees, with what looked like a half-burnt log bench still sitting in the middle. We set up, started the fire, cracked open some beers, and tried to shake the weirdness. For a while, it actually worked. We laughed, lit a couple of small fireworks, even played a stupid drinking game. That's when Sam brought up the dog again. He said something like, "You know, I swear I saw that same dog when we were halfway through the trail. Not like a similar dog, the same one, same eyes." Derek joked that it was probably the ghost of some hunter's pet or whatever, but Sam wasn't laughing. He looked genuinely freaked out. That kind of killed the mood for a bit. But then we heard fireworks in the distance, someone else celebrating, and that snapped us back. We lit one of ours, a huge one Derek had been saving, a mortar that whistled up into the sky and exploded into red, white, and blue. Right as it went off, we all heard it. A voice from somewhere behind the tree line. A woman's voice. It wasn't yelling or anything, just talking. Calm, almost sing-songy. I couldn't make out what she said, but it was definitely human. And it wasn't just one of us hearing things. We all went dead quiet and looked at each other. Sam was the first one to whisper, "What the hell was that?" Derek grabbed the flashlight and shined it toward the trees. "Nothing. Probably just some other group out here," he said, but even he didn't sound convinced. Then we heard it again, closer this time. The same voice, still calm, but this time it sounded like she was calling a name. Ellie, or Emily? maybe. It echoed faintly between the trees, like it was being carried on the wind. Sam stood up and said he didn't like this and wanted to leave. I was about to agree when we heard something else. Movement. Slow, deliberate footsteps, just beyond the edge of the clearing, crunching over leaves and twigs. Then the sound stopped. But when Derek shined the flashlight again, we saw it. Not a person, not an animal, a shape. It was tall, maybe 7 feet, thin, way too thin. And it wasn't standing behind a tree, it was somehow part of it. Like bark had grown around it, or maybe it was camouflaged. I swear it was like the woods had made a person. None of us said a word. We just stared, completely paralyzed. Then it moved. Not fast, not dramatic. Just a slow lean forward like it was studying us. That broke the spell. We ran. I don't remember grabbing anything, not the speaker, not the coolers, not even the flashlight. We tore back through the woods with nothing but the moonlight above us and panic in our bones. I tripped twice, maybe 3 times. Sam screamed at one point, and I thought he was hurt, but he just kept running. It felt like we were being chased, but I never heard footsteps behind us. Only the sound of branches brushing against each other, and the voice, still calling that name. When we made it back to the car, the black dog was gone, but there was something else. Lined up perfectly across the hood of my car were 3 pine cones, big ones. Each one had a piece of twine tied around the top, like little nooses. None of us spoke the entire drive back. I didn't even realize I was crying until we got out onto the main road and I saw my reflection in the rearview mirror. We didn't tell anyone about what happened, not for a long time anyway. But here's the part that really messed me up. 2 days later, I got curious and looked up any old stories from Brewer's Hollow, stuff I'd maybe forgotten from when I was younger. And I found something. A missing persons report from 2003. A teenage girl named Emily Harker had gone missing on the 4th of July while hiking in Brewer's Hollow. She was never found. She would have been 33 years old that summer, and the last person to report seeing her said she was followed into the woods by a massive black dog